Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I am one of the hosts this evening, Michael, followed by other host, Kat.
Hello.
And Sage.
Yeah.
And,
wow. No host for me.
And other host, Sage.
Thank you.
Welcome to Anime Club.
Woo.
It's time to talk about Nana, Kat's show. So if you want to lead the point.
Yeah.
Lead the point.
Yeah, explain the show, etc., why you picked it.
And they were roommates.
And they were roommates.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
That's it.
That's the whole thing. It's about two girls moving to Japan, both named Nana, meet each other by fate. And it's just about their life and what happens. I feel like most is spoilers, so get to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you can't get like a synopsis. Like, you have to be pretty reductive with it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like, when I described it like very vague, because when it was described to me, like on TikTok, it was very vague. And I liked that better because it was more shocking when things happened. So then I wanted to keep it that way. So keeping it that way.
Yeah, that's valid.
But if you're here, you probably already have seen Nana and you want to watch something that people are talking about Nana, especially because after I finished Nana, I tried looking for people's videos about Nana.
None.
And couldn't find shit. So if you're here, I'm assuming you've already seen it. If not, go watch it, then come back.
I was going to say, we can keep the non-spoiler short, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We could just talk about the general, like, pacing and art.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at myself. I have a copy of Shoujo Beat, which is like Shonen Jump, similar kind of like
Nana's
weekly thing. And it has Nana in it, and I meant to bring it with me because I think it's from like 2006.
Yeah.
I meant to bring it with me. I forgot it. Damn. Unlucky.
Insert pictures.
Yeah. I'll insert a picture. Or Mike will.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you will.
Mike will insert pics.
Yeah, if you send it to me.
I will when I get home.
A picture and Mike will insert
I'll send
it.
pics.
That counts.
Anyway. Well, I guess generally, I don't know. I thought it was all right. The art kind of goes all over the place. It's very 2000s in like, sometimes you're like, this 2000s, so this is fine. And other times you're like, oof, this is some 2000s.
Yeah.
Boy. Like, it kind of goes between those two, like.
I felt like after the second episode, I was used to it. I was just like, all right.
I mean, yeah, like you accept it.
You know what it is because the translation from the manga to the anime, because it's not like the character models are wrong.
Yeah.
It's just they look weird in animation.
Yes.
On paper, they look really good, and I feel like the characters like all have this like certain appeal and aura to them on paper. But then like especially in that first episode, you're like, oh my god,
they're fucking 10 heads.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I'm like, why are all
massive foreheads?
Yes.
Why are the foreheads so big?
I really don't know if you just get used to it or they get smaller, like past that first episode.
I don't know, because I feel like it was like on and off. Sometimes the foreheads were like normal, and I was like, okay. And then other times, and this is throughout all like 47 episodes, I felt like they were huge again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoever is doing these character models for like the base of whatever they're animating,
not consistent.
Maybe they had like a couple of guys and they were all just doing their own thing.
I don't know. As an aside, best boy Yasu.
Okay, wait. Also, I wanted to preface that when I watched this, I became obsessed with this, and especially because I feel like there's like not much on the internet about it. I tried to get anybody and everybody that I could to watch this, and I was like, perfect. There are two people that I can absolutely force to watch this no matter what. So if I can't succeed in anybody else, I have
at least two people to talk about it with.
People. But I did succeed in making 3 other people watch it, and they really enjoyed it. But with you guys, I did not think that either of you were going to like it. I didn't care. I just wanted to talk about it, and so that
I'm not surprised Mike doesn't like it.
Yeah, like I
didn't like it. I just said I didn't think it was all that great.
I really didn't think it was gonna be your cup of tea. I just didn't care, and I was like.
But I think it's a story that, like, in terms of, like, at least anime, I feel like it's just not for you. Like, not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
No, again, like, it's fine. Like, it's not, like, I didn't even give it a relatively bad score. I mean, obviously we'll get to that later. But, like, it was just, a lot of anime have if these people just talked, all their problems would be solved. It's not an uncommon thing in any anime.
Right.
But holy shit is like 50 billion problems in this show. Basically every problem in this show would be solved if two people just talked for like a minute. Like not even extensively long talk. But like it boils down to all these people being so bad at basic things that like,
but they're 20.
But even when they say
younger.
even when they like express to another person either what they want or what they need, it's just this thing of like, I think Kat is right that like it's very much like the perspective of being 20 years old. Like you're really starting your life.
Like your frontal cortex is not fused.
You're not
like,
fully developed in terms of like your emotional maturity.
Yeah.
And
don't you bring science into this?
It's this thing of like, I feel like an equivalent would be like watching a story of like someone who's like either just graduated college or just starting college, and they're like really starting to find themselves as a person. And like this story is that, but
also,
like
I so enjoyed that it was not high schoolers.
Oh my god, I was gonna say that my level of enjoyment for this show, the fact that they're all adults minus Sheen, is so refreshing.
Yes.
And I wish more anime would do this.
Sheen rocks though, by the way.
Yes, he does. But have a story that's not with teenagers, because I think you can get a lot more.
Also because like
aren't they all like 26?
No,
the Nanas are 20
and
Nobu is 20.
Yeah, and then most of them
I think
are around the same age. Like Ren and Yasu and them might be like a year or two older, but they're not much. Like it's not like
they're all like I would say like 20 to 25.
It's not like a big jump. I don't even think it's that high.
You don't think 20?
I'll look it up. Hold on.
Yeah. But I feel like that
I was like, I just saw
thinking.
that Nana was born in 1980, but I was like, I don't remember when the show takes place. Because if it takes place in the modern time of like when it was being written, then it's like 2006.
No, it started getting written in like 2000. I thought 2001.
I am
the
looking
first
at the anime.
one?
My bad.
Or 2000?
Not paying attention to what I'm on.
Ren's 23, so they're all in the same class, so they should all be like 23.
Oh, okay.
So not that much older.
But like, look, yeah, I get it. It's just like a common thing in like anime, but it's just the amount of like insanity that the problems that they cause just because they refuse to have a conversation. Like, and then sometimes one will start trying to, and they'll be like, anyway, bye, and then just leave. And you're like you're doing it to yourself. And it just happens nonstop. And I'm like, so that it just got a little annoying to me. Like,
I mean,
sometimes in other anime, it's like just the relationship side where it's like, oh, they keep misunderstanding each other, ha ha ha. But then the rest of the story is whatever. But like the entire story is that none of them talk to each other.
I mean, we'll go into spoilers, but I can only really think of two situations like that. I don't see it as like the whole thing being annoying like that like the whole thing they're just miscommunicating with each other. There are definitely two things that I'm like, this could have been cleared up and isn't. But
I think I found a solution to literally all their problems. I just can't say it till spoilers.
Okay.
Anyway, besides that, like, I think it's paced fairly well. I got through it kind of quickly.
Did you think it was too long?
I think a little bit, but like not by much.
Okay. I thought it was a random amount of episodes.
It sure is, but I assume that's because it's
weird.
I enjoyed it, but I did think that it was just like a random amount.
Well, the manga just kind of ended, right?
So it's on a like forever hiatus.
Yeah,
right.
There's no ending.
It's another one where the author got sick, and so it wasn't finished.
And there's no like plans to finish it, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But the thing is, I'm pretty sure they got better and like wrote other mangas. They just aren't finishing. But I saw that on TikTok, so whether or not that's actually true.
Wait, you mean like after the hiatus they made other
I mean
stories?
that's the same thing that shit, I'm forgetting his name, but the same dude that wrote Hunter x Hunter did. Because he never finished Yu Yu Hakusho. He just moved on.
Right.
Yeah. He got slightly better and went, I'm moving on. I'm not touching that story
So what
again.
I heard, at least in terms of Nana, is that like there was essentially this announcement of like, okay, it's going on a forever hiatus, essentially. Like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to finish it. Mm-hmm. And then I guess like this is, again, I just heard this like TikTok essentially.
Yeah.
That like as the years have gone on, there's like less and less desire from the author to even go back.
Yeah. That's what I'm assuming, is that it's never gonna go back. But there's just no official announcement being like,
there's no
dead.
ending. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just looking at like what they've done since. But
did
anyway,
they write stuff after?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Okay.
But
because again,
I'll look at it when I'm not talking.
I just got my information from TikTok. Obviously, you shouldn't just
reliable source.
Yeah, exactly. So take that with a grain of salt, because I didn't do digging into that.
But I think the art's generally fine. I do think, again, like it probably could have been maybe a couple less episodes, but not maybe by much. But again, I also think it's probably like they were adapting it. Maybe they caught up and then were like, we could just end it. Whatever. Like,
I do think that they end it themselves, the anime. I don't actually know if that's true.
I mean, they kind of.
Because I do know that there's more stuff that happens in the manga before it like finishes, like before it goes on hiatus.
Right.
So that's why I think that the anime just like made up its own ending. But when I tried looking it up, I was unsuccessful because there's just not really much information on this show, like when you try looking it up. But so that's just what I'm kind of assuming, because there's more stuff that happens, so it wouldn't make sense with how they end it.
But I think, for at least from what I read, because I was also trying to be like, okay, just in comparison to like, because the manga has no definitive, this is the end of the story. I was trying to see like a comparison to see if the anime was like, okay, like here's the end of the story.
Yeah,
close the book kind of thing. Which I feel like there isn't. Like, but the manga seems to be the same, where it's this same kind of like non-ending, if you will.
So they jumped forward but skipped the stuff, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
So like they have the same ending, but there's more stuff that happens in the manga. They just skipped that and then just ended them the same.
It seems like from what I don't want to like say things about the ending of the manga if you didn't read it to like, I don't want to like spoil you.
Well, I have a major spoil like about the manga, which is like, also I don't want to talk about it.
You don't understand what I'm saying?
Well, so that's what I'm trying to like.
Why don't we just get to the spoilers so we can talk about it?
It's spoilers for the manga.
Yeah, which I don't want to go into.
When we're off air, we'll
that's fine.
Decide.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I guess I'll just go over my brief, and then we'll move on to spoilers. In terms of story, I really enjoyed it. I like the characters. Not that I like them as people, but I do think they feel very real.
I'm so glad you said this, because Michael gave me the wrong picture. I thought you didn't like this.
We had talked about it, and we kind of talked about it.
I agree, because when we had talked about it, like I said, I think everybody makes the worst choices possible.
Yeah, I was like, we agreed on quite a few things.
I said to him that they're so real. Like, I feel like these characters are so real.
It's a frustrating experience. Like,
yeah.
It's a frustrating viewing experience, and this is what I said to Mike. And like, I get annoyed with basically everyone, because I'm like, I need you to get your shit together for like 3 seconds. But with all that said, they feel like real people. Like, it's like, imagine if you were watching a documentary of somebody's life, right? And you're like, why are you doing this to yourself? Like, you could make your life so much better. But like, all their like thoughts and emotions feel like something a real person would think and feel. Yeah. So I think there's quality in that. I don't personally enjoy it.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Because I said to him that I thought that they were so real, and he said that he didn't think that they were like, that they seemed that real. And I said, I literally feel like I know a person that's like each character. And he was like, no, I don't know what you're doing. And he said that you agreed with him. So I was like, oh shit, she hated it.
When we had talked, you were like, who the fuck's dealing with these problems at this point in life? Like, you were like, because you said, they're like, when I was this age, nobody I knew was dealing with any shit like this. Who the fuck's dealing with this?
Yeah, because I think the thing is, I still agree with those statements. I think everyone in the show is wildly irresponsible with their own lives for like no reason at all. But
except for June.
You know what I mean?
Best
like,
girl June.
But it's just
like
very frustrating because you're like, you feel like, you know, when you're like, you should have it more together.
Yeah.
But they obviously don't because everyone's a fucking mess. That's what it is.
Yeah.
By the way, according to this thing, the author gave an update last year that she wants to finish Nana, but has still not been cleared by doctors 10 years later that she can really start working.
Wow.
So
okay. So then I guess she didn't rate other stuff.
Does not seem like it.
Okay.
She's just suffering from long-term side effects of whatever her illness is that has never been disclosed.
Rip.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, so I think it's good but a frustrating viewing experience. I will say, and I can't really fault them for this, the animation is really early 2000s.
Oh, for sure.
It is hard to look at sometimes. And this is something weird that I noticed throughout the show. And I don't know if this was like an artistic choice or not, but a lot of times the scenes, the color palettes are like super muted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, but it was weirdly inconsistent because sometimes things would feel really vibrant, but then you'd have like a very long scene where it was like a muted color palette. And I'm like, was your color budget just gone? Like, what happened? Because it doesn't feel intentional, if that makes sense. It feels like almost random.
Well, that's what I was going to ask because I don't think I noticed that. So
I was going to say, what I feel like I remembered of it was always that it went in tune with either if they were playing music, because then it was usually always muted, or like an intense scene was happening. That's how I remember it.
No, I feel like I remember scenes where...
also, by the way, the music slapped.
Yes.
I feel like I remember just random scenes where I would notice just very muted colors. And not that the whole scene maybe was muted, but there was like things that didn't fit in the scene in terms of like the overall picture. And I couldn't decide if it felt intentional or not. And it was kind of throwing me off. So that was kind of weird to just look at. And then I will say the first OP, only because especially in the first like maybe 12 episodes, they play that first song so many times. I was getting so sick of hearing it. I was like,
yeah, they do.
I was like, it's so obvious you guys didn't write a second song for this band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like even though the show has good music, I was like, this just feels weirdly lazy to write
wrote
one
more
song.
for Trap Nest than
They
did.
did. It was really weird.
They wrote more for the rival band
Yes,
that you
I
don't
noticed
really
that,
even see much
But
of.
to be fair,
Trap Nest is a bigger band.
I was about to say that technically,
But you spend more time with the...
Lore-wise, that does make more sense because they're well established. They have all these songs. They have all these albums. They have been around for years. And Blast is starting writing.
But you see more of Blast. You'd think you'd see more of their songs.
I just think
if they had like balanced 2 songs for Blast, especially in that
Blast
first
like
chunk of episodes,
they have like 2 names, right?
So
it's
I
like
think
something
it's
and Blast.
I think
it's
in the
Blast
Japanese,
and the Black Stones.
Right.
Is in the Japanese version, it's just Black Stones, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what I saw like in manga, like panels and
I
stuff.
had looked it up on like Reddit or something
Because it's after the cigarettes.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
Because I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because I also was like, what? I don't understand what's going on with this.
Like, why are the names wildly
Yes.
different? Yeah. But yeah, overall, frustrating viewing experience, but it is a good story and like well written.
Oh, hey, also back to the fucking High Dive sucks.
Oh my god, High Dive is the actual worst.
That was the worst part about watching this show was High Dive.
Streaming platform in the world. I actually feel bad for Nana that this is what it's available on because
it's on Hulu.
even less people watch it. Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay,
What
but
about on
Hulu's
fucking
also
Hulu?
I was about to say,
But it's not
but
nearly
I
as bad.
didn't watch on Hulu because I only have Hulu with ads, and I'd rather fucking die than watch 47 episodes with ads. So
Yeah.
and I don't want to.
But on
spend
High
more money
Dive, it
to
doesn't have a skip intro or skip
exactly.
outro, so you're not saving any time.
Mm-hmm.
but I can just click. Like I watch on my computer. So like,
I know, and I watch it on an app, which is annoying.
Oh, when I was just like, I'm gonna take it to the bed. Like I'm gonna watch on
my
phone.
God.
I was like, I'm going back to my computer. I was like, I can't do this.
The number of times where I was like, I'm just gonna watch it on my phone.
You can't. You literally can't.
Yeah. High Dive kept being like, you need to be a premium member to have like the dub. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I am. So at first I thought, okay, maybe the app is glitching out. If you click on your like user profile on their app, all it has is your username and log out.
Yep.
Those are the only options.
Yep. And then especially if you try to do it on like any an app version of like on a TV or an Xbox or something.
Terrible.
They don't pop up a keyboard.
No, it's a straight line.
Straight line of every letter and number, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
I'm pretty sure High Dive has.
And it never remembers any episode you're on.
Nope.
Not even because we're watching the same shows or maybe on the same account. Like, it just never remembers where you are. Ever. And so if you don't remember what you're on, you fuck yourself.
Really? I saw that it kept what episode
it never remembers it for me.
It kept what I was on.
When I was watching it, it would like sometimes remember. And then other times it would start playing like a completely random episode. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
It did that a few times. And I was like, fuck, where the hell was I? And then I had to go through, and sometimes it was like not a full episode that I had finished. And like I had to go back and find where I was in the episode.
I'm going to write a strongly worded letter to High Dive.
I hate High Dive. High Dive, look. I'll let you sponsor us, but just get your shit together, okay?
Sponsor us when you better your user interface.
Yeah. I'm kidding. I will shell out. I will lie. And
you
say
will
that I
shill.
love you. I will lie and say I love you.
This is a horrible proposal.
Anyway, back to Nana.
After multiple episodes of us going, High Dive sucks, and then we get sponsored by them. High Dive's a great anime service.
You just go back and edit all the episodes.
LOL.
Anyway,
we can enter spoilers.
All right. Yeah. Hey, spoilers from here on out.
So I just want to say there were a couple of moments in this show when I was watching it, because sometimes the drama moments really hit. Okay. So when I was watching it and this fucking Sachiko comes into the picture.
Yes.
When I tell you, I was like,
Sachi.
Are you
serious?
There are
multiple times that my jaw dropped while watching
and then
this show.
like Nana is like, oh, I'm gonna surprise him, and then they're hugging outside of the restaurant. I was like,
literally for all
drama.
of this, because I went in so fucking blind to like what this show was, because I had been suggested on TikTok to like watch the show, I feel like a year and a half prior. So I barely even remember what the fuck they said in that TikTok, but being like, oh, this is one you should watch about these two girls who are friends and their lives, hee hee. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll get to it. And like I always kept seeing it. I'm like, oh, it's ugly. Like I don't want to watch it. And then one day I was just fucking bored. I'm like, all right, like I guess today. And boy, was that the best fucking day, because if I didn't I'm obsessed with this show, because I just like was not expecting it, like any of the like the moments. Like I love this show so much because it's just so different than any other anime I've ever seen. It's just so real, like different. It's not these like, it's the only one that's like actual real life problems and then so many problems. Like it's not even just like, it's an actual drama, like, whereas everything else, I mean, there's tons of animes that I like, so it's not me even like shaming other animes, but like after this was over, I was like, I need more. And I tried looking up shows like Nana, and everything that they recommended, I was like, this is nothing like, because most of them were shows I've seen. I was like, this is nothing like, this is nothing like Nana. I was like, why would you even suggest this?
I feel like with Nana, it's romance and drama.
Yeah.
Right? As I guess you would call that like the two primary genres. And it does the drama part, in my opinion, really well.
Yeah.
The romance, I feel like, is secondary to the drama. And it's just like this great...
But they always, like, they just do characterization, like, so well, like, to make you, like, care about them. Even though they're frustrating, like, you still care about them.
Yeah.
So, like, I just think it's done so well. I am heartbroken that it is not over.
It will
like,
probably never get finished.
Yes.
Yes, Michael.
all of their problems could have been solved if they were just gay for each other. Every single problem.
Oh, if the Nanas were together.
Every single problem could have been solved if the Nanas admitted that they loved each other, and everything would have been easier in their lives.
I actually have questions for you guys based on that. Do you think that they actually are in love with each other that way, or if they're just like friends, soulmates, like in love, like
no. I think that they absolutely are just in denial that they totally are, that their lives would be better if they were with each other.
What do you think?
Especially because they're both in horrible relationships.
I love Ren.
Ren is codependent, and so is Nana.
Ren.
Both of them are in a toxic relationship.
I know that they're codependent and being codependent
and long-haired
is not
dude
good, but
is
I
an
love
absolute piece of shit.
Yeah, but I love Ren.
Takami's a piece of shit.
I love Ren. I will not take that back. I love Ren.
To answer your question, I don't know that. While there's a part of me that wishes that they were like gay for each other, I don't know that them being in a relationship would solve anything for them.
I mean, I'm sure they'd still have problems. I'm being hyperbolic.
No,
here,
I know, but I'm saying, like, I think even if, like, the Nanas got together, all of the persisting issues that they both have separate from each other, like, in their lives and, like, their thought processes and, like, how they choose or choose not to, like, let people in and, like, ask for help and things like that. Like, I think all those things would really come to a head, and like they would be worse off because then they wouldn't even have each other as friends.
Do you think that they actually are?
No, I don't.
Okay, I also don't think that they actually are.
I agree with like the soulmate friends thing, but I don't think that they're actually gay for each other.
Yeah, I feel like it's more the fact that they're I don't know if confused is the right word, like, about their feelings, but they've never felt so strongly about someone, and that's why they make little comments about being like Hachi goes, Nana, like, if you were a guy, like
I'd be the love,
you'd be the love of my life and stuff like that. But you know, they make little comments like that, but I feel like if they actually were, they would have.
I agree.
Gone for it. Like, so
that's I feel like they're in denial. They can't accept that they feel that way.
Especially because they can't. Like, I feel like it would have.
The reason why
happened.
I don't,
especially early 2000s, I feel like it's a more of a denial thing.
No, the reason why I don't think it's a denial thing is I feel like a lot of what this show is like bringing up and like the conversations that they're having. It feels pretty progressive for early 2000s.
But it feels like they both absolutely settle for bad things instead of being with where they constantly are like, I feel so much happier when I'm around you. I feel like
think that Ren is bad. Like,
he is. He starts doing drugs when he's not with her.
Yes, that is true. But that's not. I don't think that he's bad for her or is doing anything bad to her.
She doesn't want. She keeps trying to leave and can't.
But it's
a codependency.
She's trying to leave out of her own like frustration and jealousy and anger that he left for this band. She says it over and over and over. Look, it's not because
Ren
of him.
Isn't like the worst person. But I think that Ren has his own problems.
I agree. I do think that.
But
I
don't think
problems.
that they should. I don't think that the two people that they both end up with are right. That are the right move for them.
I think the thing with Nana and Ren is that I agree that they are a good couple when things are good in terms of like. I think they really try to like look out for each other and they care about each other obviously very deeply. But one, yes, they are codependent on each other and kind of toxic in that way. But I think it's a thing of like, if they weren't together now, like their relationship would be so much better if they were like 30 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they both really understood themselves as people and then could like have a meaningful relationship that wasn't toxic. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they're 20 and spiteful, you know,
I don't even think Ren's not spiteful. Nana's the only one that's spiteful.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. He's talking about Ren.
I'm not saying that
I'm trying to defend Ren.
I'm not saying that Nana's not a fault here either. But I'm saying that like I don't think that they are good for each other, at least in the moment.
I think Ren, it's almost, I don't know if this is just me, but I almost get this feeling of he cares about her, but at the same time, he's like so casual with her.
But there's some people that are just like that.
I guess so.
But like, she also
there's
constantly brings up
that.
that like whenever they're together, he's like, anyway, sex. Like, that's it.
But there's tons of time you watch them and they're not having sex.
But
but
then he constantly makes passes where he's like, hey, but anyway, we could be though.
But like, that's not really a problem. Like, if she's into it, which she is, then it's like
because she says that she's not always here for that, yet he does it anyway. She's said that.
When does she say that?
I don't remember when exactly. I just remember that she has been like, I'm not always just here for that. And he's like, yeah, but like we're here.
Oh,
so
is
why
that
not?
when she's like, when her and Hachi
she's either cooking or she's in
like,
a bathtub.
They have that like fight with each other because they're like both not talking to each other. So as a way to spite each other, they continue to not talk to each other. So she keeps like staying at his place instead of going to their apartment during that time.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. That she does say that. She's like, I'm not just here for that. But I don't think she means it in a way of like, I don't want to have sex with you. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like she not is such an interesting character in that, like, I think she desperately wants to feel like she can open up to somebody and like actually trust someone. But at the same time, she's so afraid of judgment and rejection. No matter how close she gets to somebody, she can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, weirdly, the best couple is Shin and the singer.
No, Junko and her boyfriend, best couple.
Okay, sorry.
They're
Junko
the
and
only
boyfriend.
reasonable people in the show.
Second best couple, weirdly, the child and the singer.
I don't like Junko, but I do agree that they are the best
Junko's
couple.
the best person.
I think
only one with their shit together.
I think that she's a bad friend, and I only got that from the rewatch. Me rewatching it was when I decided that I didn't like her.
Oh, so we had a conversation about this.
Because she constantly shits on Hachi.
Well, and rightfully so.
But also, like, she tells, like, Shoji that, like, they're talking about how Hachi doesn't need to know that he's cheating, like, just, like, all this different stuff, like, and yeah, like, shitting on her. Like, she's just not a good friend, even though she, like, deals with it. Like, it's just toxic. Like, it's just not great. But I do agree that her and Kyosuke are the best couple. They are very good for each other. They're very much, like, they are the best couple.
They make that
like,
joke that they're, like, an old married couple.
And they very much are. Like, so even though I don't like her, I mean, it's more I just don't like her as
I feel like
Hachi's friend.
this is Junko slander.
It is. I am slandering her.
Because we had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And now I remember less about that part of the show than before. So I'm not going to be as good as making the argument against it.
Your argument wasn't that good then either.
It was already weeks past too. But like, I don't think that she's saying like that it's fine that he cheated.
She says it to Kyosuke.
But she says either break it off or like for one or the other. Like, you can't have both.
Yes, but just because she makes the one statement doesn't mean that it negates the other statement she's made.
But like, it's not like she's doing it in a way to be like to screw over Hachi. She's saying either way you gotta end one or the other, and you have to do it right now because this is fucked up. Either way.
Yeah, but like I said, like the one time that she says that doesn't mean that makes her a good friend.
But it's all within the same conversation.
No, she has a conversation with Kyosuke like separately, and she's just like they both talk about like how he could just fuck Sachiko, just get it out of his system, and then like marry Hachi, and then like live happily ever after. Like, it's just like a whole thing, and I was like, this is gross. Like, why? I think that Kyosuke is a better friend to Hachi than Junko is. Like, he's very much like a better father figure and cares more
Kyosuke,
because he doesn't shit on her.
He's just the most, I think, level-headed person in the room, essentially. Yeah. And even when there's that whole thing about, what was the boyfriend's name? Shoji, thank you. Even when, like, Shoji's talking to him, being like, so this girl is like working at my same restaurant now and I don't know what to do, and he's like, well, then don't cheat. I would never cheat.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, well, why wouldn't you cheat? And he's like, I'm not gonna cheat because would you cheat because she'll find out?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's because if I cheat I'm gonna lose her.
Yeah,
you know,
so cute.
Like, he's just the most like reasonable person. Yeah. And like level-headed. He's very mature.
Yes.
Compared to everyone else who's an absolute
Even though he's the exact same age, so
I know.
it doesn't. So meaning he's actually 20.
Around there,
No, because they're all in the same grade, the 4 of them.
Well, yeah, but you were in the same grade with people that
so
you're not the same
21.
age of.
Okay, all right, relax.
Maximum like 21.
Yes.
That's why I just said around the same age.
Okay, but not like how the others are 23 is my point.
Right. But like, yeah, because I mean, he definitely, because even when Jude's like shitting on Hachi because she's like, she hasn't got her life together and she keeps making it my problem. Like he's like, yeah, but we should help her anyway. Yeah. Like.
He's a better friend.
Yeah, but I also
this
don't
is
think
Junko slander.
but I also don't think that like giving shit about the friend that constantly is making her life problems yours.
Just because she ends up helping her or giving advice or doing whatever doesn't make her a good friend. It's still toxic. She should just leave the situation if she's unhappy. Like,
but I don't think she is. I think she's just
well, then she should stop being a bitch. Like, I don't know.
But you can vent about a friend that just constantly makes their own problems and then makes it your problem.
I don't know the way she goes about it. And not, I mean, I guess once or twice she expresses it to Hachi, but she doesn't express it. She does.
She's like,
there
hey,
you go.
There's
your point of not expressing enough. Like, if they expressed it enough, maybe it could get better.
But she has expressed it, like you said, to Hachi at least once or twice, and Hachi still does it. And then she's like, look, I'm going to give you shit, but like, I'm still going to help you.
Yeah.
Because she still cares about her, but she's also going to give her shit about it.
Can I derail this Junko convo real quick?
Absolutely.
No.
It does not matter at all.
Because
Junko's the most important character.
Hachi, Takumi, or Nobu?
Who do I like better?
For her.
It sure isn't Takumi. That dude's a fucking asshole.
Absolutely Nobu, but I very much I think that Takumi is one of the best written characters in this show. He is written so real.
He's very layered.
Yes.
I just got pure manipulator vibes.
Well, exactly, though. But, like, he is so... Coming from someone who's been in a toxic relationship, like, it is so... And from being friends with people who've been in toxic relationships and, you know, discussing that with people, like, it's so real. Like, exactly how it was written. I can't even like describe like some of the things he would say would give me like goosebumps because of just like how real it was.
He's like manipulator 101.
Yeah, but like the things he would say, like he is absolutely like, but the way he would go about it and would go about winning her back, like he would say something and then, you know, winning her back, like that bathtub scene.
Yes.
Where I was just like, oh, you know, like maybe
no,
this is changing.
that's the
like,
thing. So I feel like it's so interesting because whenever you see him like with the band or like he's talking to his managers or whatever, he comes across like so arrogant, so like on his high horse type vibe, and you're like, you're literally such a piece of shit. But then you cut to him and like Hachi having a scene, and he a lot of times I notice like he'll start the scene off kind of like, all right, it's fine, like whatever. But then the second he senses that like she's bothered by that, he's like, oh, let me turn on the charm.
Yeah.
You know, like
just watching every scene he was in gave me such bad vibes. Every single time.
Well, yeah, he's a bad guy.
I know. But like, absolutely he's not the pick like that at all.
With the parents and like stuff, like it was very much like
I hated him. I hated him so much.
I just think he's so well written. It's just so real. Like I think he's one of the best written characters like in it. It's so interesting. And
yes,
like,
but I don't want to give him the credit.
I'll give him the credit, but I absolutely like Nobu better.
Like it's I feel like there's no contest, and if somebody thinks that what's his face? I already forgot his name. I'm spacing on it.
Takumi?
Yeah, Takumi is the right pick. I feel like they just don't know how to sense vibes.
Do you think that people can change?
No.
He's a 23-year-old.
I mean, yes, but no.
Okay.
Yes, people can change. Do I think he will? No. Like, if you're...
I agree.
Because he used the baby as like a manipulative point. I don't think you're coming back from that.
Yeah, if you're using
a baby as a manipulation,
if you're using your unborn child as your
no man, red flag, pull out.
As a way to like win someone over, I don't think that's something good.
And then he was keeping her locked in a room for like months, weeks. I don't even remember how long it was.
No,
he wouldn't let her leave.
She could leave.
She couldn't talk to anyone she knew.
What? She could leave.
No, but she could not interact with the people she knew because she talks about how she's like,
she was allowed to. She didn't want to. I just rewatched it. I swear to God, I watched it today.
Didn't they go to the hotel and they're like, you can't go, you can't come in, you're not, she's not like, you're not allowed to go in or meet her.
When Nana was trying to go.
Yeah.
So Nana came. So he
because he wouldn't let them go in. She starts getting pissed about it.
So Nana goes to see Hachi. Ren says, like, go see her at her place. She has morning sickness, everything. There's a note, like, at the front desk that says, like, say this place is empty. But that's because of Trap Nest's fans. It's not to isolate Hachi.
But don't they bring up the fact that he is isolating her?
She literally goes out that day.
I was going to say, because don't we see later in that same episode?
That's the whole reason that she's not at the place right then is because she's going out to meet Sheen. She can go out. But
isn't there a monologue about that, like, one of them gives that he is absolutely cutting her off from people? Isn't that a whole monologue that happened?
I don't remember that at all.
I swear to God, there was a monologue about how she was being cut off. And like, because then Nana's like, this is classic manipulator shit.
Well, but Nana also has, because you have to think about when the point shifts to Nana, you are getting Nana's view.
And it is biased,
from Nana's point of view,
like,
she's thinking, she's not taking it from like the Trap Nest angle. She's like, so why the fuck am I know she's living here.
Yes.
Why can't I just go see her?
Yes. So it's not... So
either way,
she doesn't have the omniscient information.
Yeah, but so he's not cutting her off. She even says it to Sheen, like,
isn't she intentionally cutting herself off?
She is, and that's another point of how they could fix things if they just talked it out, because they're cutting themselves off and not talking to each other because they're because Nana's saying, like, oh, I have to be on Nobu's side, so, like, I can't make up with Hachi.
They feel like they can't face each other because then once they face each other, it's almost this thing of, like, everything becomes real, if that makes sense, if they face each other.
Right, but, like,
Hachi calls herself a traitor and says she can't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
Because she's, like, picking Takumi over Blast.
Takumi is never the pick, though. I just want to make that very clear. He should never be the pick.
Ew, no.
Okay, I was just asking.
Well, you put him up as an option.
I only asked because I only asked.
You know who the real pick is? The shop owner.
Oh my God.
He was getting married.
I thought he was already married.
No, he left.
No, the video store guy.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
But no, like, I only asked because when that whole thing was happening, when Nobu is finally, like, trying to confess his feelings, I'm like, this is so fucking messy. Like, what is going on? I hate it here. And then when you have, that's why I asked, because Nana's like, well, should I be with Takumi or should I be with Nobu? She bails
on Nobu, like, immediately.
Oh,
like, she thinks they're dating, and then Takumi shows up again after being broken up, at least to her, and she's like, bye, and then goes to him.
Yeah. Well, so Hachi even says, though, the whole reason she picks Takumi is, like, one, because he's a celebrity, which is fucked up, because, she's idolized him for so long. Like, that was, and, like, even Shoji says, like, when they say, what's his name, Takumi, musician, he's, like, from Trap Nest, because she's talked about him for so many years. But also the fact that because he's fucked up, she internalizes that she thinks that she's fucked up, and she even says to, like, Nobu over it, like, she feels like she can only be fucked up with Takumi, so she says that she can only be her real self with Takumi. So, like, that's, like, a whole thing. So
it's
that's
a thing of, like, getting what you, like, you're only getting what you deserve.
Yeah, so, like, she chooses that because she doesn't think that she deserves Nobu. She thinks that Nobu's too sweet for her, and that she isn't. That's why she talks about multiple times, like, do I deserve this?
She thinks she's gonna, like, ruin him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's like, do I, he's so sweet, do I deserve this? I could be happy with it, like, saying all these different things. And she even says, like, no, Takumi is the only one.
And then another, like, my jaw meets the floor when she finds out she's pregnant. And Takumi's like, oh, hey, Nobu.
Yes.
Just so you know,
literally,
Hachi's pregnant and we don't know who the dad is. I was like, bitch.
Yeah. Literally. So first, happy-go-lucky, the drama of the show, I'm just like, okay, wow, like, enjoying this, everything. Yeah, everything. And then all of a sudden they're talking about, like, she's sick and it's, like, the heat and everything. And then all of a sudden she's, like, there with the pregnancy test. I'm like, don't. I was like, I don't. I was like, that's not where this is going. I'm like, she's gonna get an abortion, right? Like, that's not where this is. This clearly not where this is going. And then she's like throwing up and everything. And then
she was until she saw it, right, on the sonogram, because she was in the thing to get it done. What was the thing that changed her mind? Like, what was the thing? It was the picture of it, right? Picture of them.
No, I thought it was because Takumi was like.
No. She was in the clinic. She was gonna do it. And then I just remember they showed her something.
She hadn't decided yet.
Yeah.
Because they said to her, and that kept going through her mind, being like, if you decide to have an abortion, call us.
Like, let us know.
Yeah, right, but like, they showed her something that made her change. Was it the sonogram? Like the picture of...
I don't think so. I think she was telling Nana that there's just a maternal instinct or something.
Yeah, I don't think
Nana
so
didn't know
either.
that she was pregnant yet or something, but she was just saying that, like...
I thought it was like that she did something.
Remember.
I thought it was like the sonogram.
I don't remember there being like a specific moment. I kind of...
I think it was, because then the person goes, well, here, have this, and it's the sonogram.
Do you want to keep it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think
like,
it was that.
You might be right, but
because then it made it real.
I always took it as a thing of like, because she's like, even in the beginning of the show when she's like is living with Shoji for like that couple of days or whatever, and she's doing like the whole housewife thing, and she's so like happy and excited to be doing it. Like, I feel like she's definitely someone who could like live that happy housewife lifestyle and be content with that. Like, I thought that was more
also, I fucking hate Shoji. The show
literally
got so much better when Shoji was out of the picture. I think
that's so funny that like he cheats, gone from the show.
Yeah, and then like literally at fucking Juko's place that they make fun of it.
Also, Sachiko is too good for him.
Okay, also Sachiko's fucking ugly. Like,
oh my god, I agree
that they brought this little like fucking micro bang having fucking child.
The micro bang, not the micro bang.
She doesn't even compare to Hachi, and that this is even like with a little stupid cowboy hat. Like,
although
I don't even know.
And even though I dislike Takumi, that convo that they have in the bath, and because she like says like Sachiko as like not a name option, but she's like, oh, Sachiko, she's like coming to steal my man again, and he's like, oh, that's what you want to name the baby, and they're having that conversation in the bath. I did think that was cute. I know Takumi bad, but I did like that kind of interaction.
No,
there.
I'm saying I think he's so well written because like I feel like, you know, like that bath scene, and then like the fucking like with the parents and stuff, like there are those serious moments that he like kind of like wins you over, like thinking like, you know, maybe this will be good. Maybe he's
very
gonna change.
Convincing.
Yeah, like I just think, and that's literally like a manipulator. Like it's just so real, and that's why I think.
Oh, don't leave. Give me another chance. I can change. Kind of vibe.
Exactly. Yeah. Without even having to say any of
that.
Yeah,
he doesn't verbalize it in like that super obvious way, but those are the implications.
The most disconcerting part too was just like the fact that like, well, in the way of like the Nobu whole situation too is like. Then you get the time skip, and he's still clearly in love with her.
Yeah.
And you're just like, that moment in the bathroom, and you're like, I feel bad for you, bro. Like,
it's
goddamn.
It's a rough lifestyle.
But that's why, like, I wish there was more
to
what's going on. Like, you see that she has the ring on, but, like, what's going on? Like, is it better with Takumi? Is she just at home with the kid? What is happening? I need her to finish writing this.
I also I want to know what happened with Shin and
Reira.
Yeah, Reira. Like, because I think you and me had that conversation where it was like, yes, he is a child, but especially in 2014 was a legal age. So like, it's weird, absolutely, but for Japan, that's like less weird. And like, I feel like, you know, like they were pretty good together, you know? Like, I wanted to know if they worked it out.
I think they have good chemistry.
But I feel like neither of them would admit it.
I think they have good chemistry, but I don't know that I would see them as like a long-term couple, if that makes sense.
Just there for like the emotional comfort at the time.
Yes.
I don't see them.
I don't see them as like a long-term couple, especially because I feel like Shin, of all the characters, he just feels like it's so weird. He's the youngest character, but I feel like, especially with like the little sprinkles that we get of his like backstory, it feels like he's seen the most shit.
Yeah. He's also the coolest looking.
Like, he's very much skeptical of everything, kind of over it, but he's that, but at the same time, this like wide-eyed, like chasing my dream child.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's a very interesting balance of like essentially like two opposing forces of like in his personal life, he's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I've seen it all. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, there's
Dude's
no
got game,
point.
though.
Dude's got game.
Like,
but then in like, I guess his professional life, he wants to be on the stage and like perform and achieve things, you know?
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I just
also his lighter's rad.
Sorry.
Yes, that's a real lighter you can get.
I'm sure it's a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
But his entire look is pretty cool. I like his style.
I liked all of the fashion.
But Yasu, best boy.
That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Yasu definitely best boy, but the fashion in this show is so good. I love well thought out outfits.
Yeah, and that it's always different.
Well thought out costume design on characters, especially in anime or manga, because I feel like you don't get it that often.
Yeah.
Because you're either standard uniform or you're going standard like Naruto, One Piece style, where everyone has one look.
Yeah.
For 10 years, you know.
Uh-huh.
And everything that they wear, I think like it feels like it makes sense for the characters.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
I
So
agree.
well done.
Oh. Okay, hold on. We can bring back the instead of Takumi and Nobu.
Yeah.
Yasu or Ren.
It's hard because I feel like Nana doesn't deserve Yasu.
I agree.
So like I don't even want to be like Yasu or Ren because
I feel like Yasu would if this story
Yasu would move heaven and earth for that
I know,
girl.
but
But she doesn't deserve that.
Exactly. Like that's why I just
at
don't
least
feel
not
like,
at 20 years old.
I just don't feel like
Yeah.
I want to pick Yasu because she doesn't deserve it.
Yasu is by far the best boy, but if he was in a relationship with her, it would be a thing of like she would just be using him.
Yeah.
Which
she does.
I mean? Which she does already.
Yeah.
But I feel like even he justifies it as a thing of like, well, she's my friend and I'm like supposed to take care of her because who else will, kind of a thing, you know. But if they were in a relationship, I think it would be exponentially worse, and Yasu would get more hurt than her.
Yeah.
And he does not deserve
I
that.
agree.
He did deck that reporter though.
As he should.
Yes.
Yeah. lost his lawyer career for that.
Lost his cool.
Yeah.
Lost his edge.
Did he lose his job because of that? I forget. Was it even that or he just quit?
I thought they were saying. I thought he was just like, well, if I lose my job, it's fine.
Right.
Like I'm willing
did they
to
ever
take
go
risks.
back to if he did?
But
or
I don't
he just
remember.
quit?
I don't remember them ever being like concretely like, oh, he's done so.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
But he did definitely say like they were like, oh, but what about like the law firm? He's like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm willing to lose it all.
For her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Like.
And literally to just do it to launch her solo career.
Yep. He was like, I'm going to stay in Bumblefuck Nowhere Town. I don't need this. And then he was like, I'm not going to let her do it alone. I'll just find a place in Tokyo.
Yasu, you're too good for her.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure is.
I guess that's the thing. Like Ren only because he's just shitty enough.
But like I like Ren.
Just
I like
shitty enough.
I
feel
Ren
like-
too, but he's the right amount of shitty for her current self.
Exactly. Like I feel like it's just, and even so, like I feel like Nana is still shitty for Ren. Like they're
shitty towards each other.
Like, but not even. I feel like he's still a little bit too good for Nana, but like that's just Nana's vibes. So
I would
fine.
not say Ren is too good for Nana.
I'm not talking about like the drug problem because like that's just a whole different thing.
It also kind of felt like that came out of nowhere, if I'm going to be honest.
Unless
I missed some
cues. It's a very big thing in like the music industry, so I feel like it's really not out
But
of
like
nowhere.
it just like, I mean, unless I missed cues, but it felt like all of a sudden they were like, is he in his room fucking like strung out?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're in like 30 episodes in. Where did this come from?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true, but from what I read, supposedly in the manga, it's a little bit more
evident
instead of just like, hey, it's like the last 5
they
episodes.
Forgot to draw it the whole time. And they're like, shit, put it in.
Put it in the
It's
coat. Put it in the coat.
The last few episodes.
Yeah.
It's like he's strung out on a couch.
So supposedly it's like a little more, maybe not evident, but like building up to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where as opposed to like, oh, suddenly like he's doing drugs more hardcore.
Yeah. But I don't know. I won't count it. But I just wanted to brief on just 'cause something that bothers me. But I know it's like it's a different time and everything else. But when fucking Shoji and Sachiko are outside and Nana goes like, you know, Hachi, what are you doing? Fight for him. He's your boyfriend. Just even telling someone like, fight for your cheating boyfriend. Like, it just made my blood boil. Like, in that. And then even like Junko and Kyosuke talking later, being like, oh, well, she just didn't like him enough. And that's why, you know, she didn't fight for him and everything like that. It's just like so horrible.
Like I don't understand the like fight for him argument because it's like,
well,
what is she fighting for?
At that moment, all they knew was that he was hugging her. They didn't know that they had sex. So I feel like to Nana, she's like, fucking beat her up. Like, go get him off your boyfriend. As far as Nana's aware, they didn't do anything.
You're right, but I feel like,
you know, so like I feel like that is a little more justified. That Nana's like, don't let him do that. Don't let the girl steal him from you.
I guess so.
I feel like that's a little more justified.
But Sachiko says, like, it's my fault. Like,
but before that happens, don't they like? Oh no, maybe it's Sachiko who puts 2 and 2 together, right? Because she sees them at the restaurant.
Yeah.
But she hears them fighting.
Sachiko and Shoji.
Yeah, but they don't know that they had sex. I think they just know that they were close.
I guess, but I mean,
So
I thought it was implied,
cheating.
at least within the conversation, that they were like together.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. The way like I was.
That's why he straight up says, "That's my girlfriend." He said, "Who is this?" And he says, "That's my girlfriend." He says that
about Sachiko.
Yes.
I thought he said that about Nana.
No, he says it about Sachiko. And then Nana's like, "You have 2 girlfriends?" And then Hachi's just crying.
Right.
And
then
she's like,
that's why she's so like,
she's like, what are you doing?
So
like,
shocked.
fight for him.
Yes, you're absolutely
and
right.
she's like, I don't want him. Like,
yeah,
we're like,
I don't want him though.
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
powerful.
damn.
Like, that's I was
the
like,
tears,
yes.
the I don't want him.
Yes,
here for it.
Yeah. Oh my God, saying
you have your trash.
Saying she would have thrown herself into the river if Nana wasn't there, though. Like, Jesus Christ.
Again, like that's why I'm also like, none of them are very stable people. Like,
no,
they're doing it to themselves.
No, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know if I have the enough relevant life experience, but I feel like when I was 20 years old. And, like, if I had gotten cheated on at that time, I probably would lose my shit, too.
Okay, I thought you were going to say throw yourself into a river.
No, I don't think I would go that extreme, but, like, I understand that, like, deep emotional pain. Mm-hmm. And that it's that kind of loss that, like, you can't describe, if that makes sense.
I wish I was Hachi and just went, I don't want him.
Like, yeah.
More power to you.
Yeah.
I wish that was it. But then, you know, later Junko and Kyosuke just be like, oh, well, she just didn't like him that much, and that's why. But, like, I guess it's just because it's a different time. Like,
I guess that's also
like,
true.
But also, like, to be fair, like, you've never known anyone that's, like, been cheated on and still fought for the dude?
Me.
So then, so I feel like
that's why I'm saying that
the friends being like, so you didn't want to fight.
But she's not saying that she
No,
thought that was right for herself.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is, like, in the moment, like, to other people could kind of see it that way and be like, I guess, like, she didn't want to fight for him.
Knew that was wrong, and I still did it. It never did somebody tell me
to fight for them.
Yeah. I knew it was still wrong, but because of, like, my feelings, I was like, well, I still need to pursue this. Yeah, it wasn't somebody telling me like,
"Oh,
get him back." Yeah, like, I wish somebody.
I feel like most females I know, if you were ever like, "Oh, I saw that my boyfriend was cheating on me or my partner or whatever," most females I know would be like, well, did you slap the guy? Like, did you cut his dick off? What'd you do?
Yes.
Right? Like, I feel like most women I know would not be like, "Oh, well, you just didn't fight hard enough for him."
Yeah. And then him blaming her, that, like, I do agree that she, like, she was kind of ignoring him. She was spending more time on Nana and like the band and everything. I do agree that, but you don't just go and cheat on someone. You tell them, no, hey babe, can we spend a little more time together?
I feel like she's spending all her time with Nana argument. In my opinion, invalid argument.
No, because it's not at all, because you can talk things out and say that you feel neglected.
Somebody has said that to me verbatim. I'm like, are you fucking psychotic? There's more than one person in my life that I get to care about and have like a deep emotional connection with.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
Like, Shoji's just a piece of shit.
That's such shit.
I don't care. Like, Shoji had no moment where he won me over. At least Takumi had some. Like, manipulator, but like at least there was Shoji had nothing.
Shoji was just outright shit, and then like Takumi is like shit with diamonds in it.
Yeah, like at least Takumi's manipulating me into liking him. Like Shoji gave me nothing.
All right. Well, do final thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's me first.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I still enjoyed my time with the show. I think that the art, the animation, kind of hit or miss at times. The music's generally pretty good. And even though I think all of them could solve all of their problems with at least a minute of just being like, anyway, we should talk about this real quick. This is how I feel. And then being like, oh, I was totally wrong at how you felt. Wild. I still think that they're all pretty well written, even though they are written extremely incompetently. Like as characters, like not the writing is incompetent. They as people are incompetent.
Yes. Emotionally incompetent.
Yeah. But I mean, I had relative fun with it. I gave it a 7.
I expected worse, so
that's why I was like, I didn't hate it. 5.
No, that's why I was like, I didn't hate it. Like I still had like it was 47 episodes, and I was like, and I didn't regret my time with it. I just had problems with the fact that none of them talked to each other. That's why it's like a 7. But I still liked it. I still thought the characters were good, like just incompetent, and I liked things about it. I just had the fact that like I just feel like there should have been something. I don't even know what it would be, just to make it feel less like these people just needed 1 minute to sit down and talk.
Do you feel like there needed to be more character growth?
I guess it kind of feels like they all stagnate into the same problems constantly. Like they'll get out of a problem and then end up right back in there. And I get that that's like real life,
right?
But I don't It would be like, it feels like they would be like,
it's
anyway, lesson learned.
Yeah.
And then like 5 episodes later, they're right back there, and you're like, I thought we just had the lesson learned.
Wait, I just thought about one of the biggest moments that like it just needed to be cleared up. When fucking Hachi just doesn't clear up to Nobu that she didn't cheat on him with Takumi.
Oh my God.
I just thought about that one. That one is so fucking frustrating that she
just had to say 3 words.
She just had to turn around and just be like, I didn't cheat on you. It was before.
Over and done.
I hope after her kid was born, he did the math himself and figured it out, because I don't know why she didn't fucking clear that one up. That was the most fucking frustrating one.
3 words. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So unsatisfying.
But yeah, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Pretty good.
And I would recommend it.
Good.
It's just, if you're like me and will scream at a screen about how you just need to say 3 words at somebody to fix the problem, you'll have some issues, but like it's still enjoyable. So yeah, that's my.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I would give it an 8 out of 10 because story-wise and how the characters are written, I would say is definitely a 10. I think that's the strongest part of the show. But because I'm looking at this as like a whole package, I know it's not their fault, but the animation really bumps it down. It's just...
It's so old.
The quality.
You can't.
And I honestly, I feel like saying that it's old is not justifiable. Because there are shows that were made even before this that hold up in terms of quality.
Like what?
like Cowboy Bebop is the number one example, obviously. But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But like, I feel like those are different levels.
But they are different. But even like something
it's also
like
different style. Like
it is a different style. But even
like you
something
said that they are going off the manga style.
Mm-hmm.
And I think not even the style. I'm talking about quality. The style, that's not their fault because they're going off of what the manga looks like. So yeah, the character models have to look a certain way. Mm-hmm. But I feel like
it is made by Madhouse.
The quality, I felt like a lot of times, and like I said, with the character models being inconsistent a lot of times, and they would just look weird and just.
But I feel like shows now do that.
I mean, they do, but and I'll fault them for that too.
Right,
like
fair enough.
You know, the inconsistent character models. I felt like the times for them to really use their budget and like show something nice, high quality animation scenes would have been during like the live performances, and they chose to do like the laziest route possible of like a moving frame on a still, which is just the cheapest way you can do something like that. It just kind of like puts a bad taste in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like the whole package is not. You know what it is? If I had just listened to this like an audiobook almost,
Yeah.
I would say everyone and their mother needs to go out and watch this, read this, experience it. But being a visual medium, I feel like actually the visuals make it a worse experience.
So do you think that you'll read the manga?
I read the manga, or maybe like half of it, when I was much, much younger. So I think I would go back and read the whole thing now.
They did do Monster 2 years before it.
There you go.
Also Beck.
Exactly. So if Madhouse is doing Monster 2 years prior to Nana and Monster looks incredible now, they have no excuse.
And
I'm
Hellsing
sorry.
Ultimate, which
I'm sorry.
Hellsing Ultimate looks fantastic.
They have no
know what that
excuse.
looks like.
I'm sorry. Just the quality of the animation bumps it down for me personally. And I will say it definitely is a little too long. I think if they made it like 40 episodes or 42 episodes, that would have been the sweet spot, because then things would like progress nicely but not too quickly.
Yeah.
You'd still have that nice slow burn, but this is such a slow burn that I'm like across the house from wherever the candle flame is.
Yeah.
I think so they were doing Black Lagoon at the exact same time. It was releasing April 5th and April 9th. So
they definitely have no excuse.
So what I'm saying is I think what they probably did is they probably put more people on Black Lagoon because it's more action heavy than Nana is.
I know, but Nana, you have so many opportunities to create gorgeous images, and they chose not to, which is annoying, you know, because if you ever look at like the manga panels or even their cover arts, it's beautiful imagery, you know, like it just is so gorgeous. There's this quality of like delicateness with this slight edge that I think they could have achieved for this, and they just didn't.
I mean,
it's kind of flat is my problem.
Because like was Nana popular at the time?
Super popular.
Okay.
Super popular at the time.
Anyway,
I feel like the only reason why I would say Nana isn't popular now is because, one, it's unfinished, and it's not like on Funimation or something like that. You know, it's very hard to be available in the United States. And I think it wasn't on any streaming services for a really long time here.
they were also doing Death Note 2 months after.
Jesus Christ.
They were doing a lot of shit in 2006. Jesus Christ.
But anyway, again, no excuse. Death Note, incredible. Still looks amazing to this day.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I would say it's an 8 for those reasons. Mm-hmm. Again, that's nothing against the story itself, but I do have to consider this as a whole package.
Yeah.
And I would definitely recommend it.
Okay.
I would agree, though, pacing-wise. I do think it could have used
just
less.
a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair enough. I'm happy with these results because I thought I thought nobody was going to like it. I was like, I just don't care because I want to talk about it. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I am in love with Nana. I don't care about any of those things. It didn't bother me at all. Like, when you do talk about the other things that they made, like, yeah, I could see what you're saying.
In terms of, like, comparison.
Yeah, but it didn't bother me at all while I was watching it, so it was fun. It was literally just the first episode, and once I got past that, like, it didn't bother me at all. But I think that this show is amazing. I pray every day for it to be finished. Every day I pray for the author to get better. So this can be finished because I need it to be finished.
This episode's going to go out and we're going to get an update. I watched this podcast.
Fucking imagine.
And you know,
they were speaking gibberish. I don't speak English.
But the blonde girl just seemed so sincere.
Yes,
and
so
you know,
dedicated.
I gotta go back.
Yeah,
so dedicated.
Please, every day I pray for you to get better so you can finish the story. Because I just think it's amazing. I mean, obviously, you guys know that the most important thing to me is characterization, and like that's
the strongest part.
Yeah, and that's what this show is, and that's always what I care about. So to have a show that's literally all that, and obviously, like I like drama and stuff too. Anytime we watch action shows, like I don't really care about that. I always care about like the other stuff that happens. So that's. Just having that in general, like that's what's so great to me about this show. And what's crazy to me is I feel like every show that comes out is in some way a copy of some other show in some sense, here or there.
I understand what you're saying,
but there's just nothing like Nana, and I just think that's fucking wild that I just can't. Every time I try and read a list of like something that's close to it, because I just need to fill this Nana-sized hole in my heart, and there's just nothing. Like, just
supposedly Nana is, or at least when it was coming out, like was the trendsetter.
Yeah,
you know, like in terms of like anime and manga, especially within like the shoujo genre, was extremely influential for the style, the fashion that they had in there. Because a lot of it was pulled from real world fashion that was very popular at that time that it was coming out.
Yeah.
And it just really influenced like romance and drama storytelling in manga and anime at that time for those genres.
So I have a question before we fully wrap up about it. Which Nana is your favorite Nana?
I really can't pick. I have been asked this, and I literally can't pick. They both have their like pros and cons, and it's like picking your favorite child. Like
there's always a favorite child. There's always a favorite child. Any parent that says there isn't is lying.
I think when I was a kid and reading Nana Osaki was my favorite. I mean, come on, the aesthetic.
I was like, aesthetic alone, Nana wins over Hachi for me.
A part of it, like for me though, like when I was reading as a kid, just the aesthetic of like Blast and Trap Nest and Nana herself, it really piqued my interest into that kind of like alternative rock punk style. And it was and of course you have it on like Beautiful Boys, so that makes it even better. You know what I mean? It's that perfect combination.
Literally.
Right.
So I feel like as a kid I was definitely more for Nana, and now that I'm older I feel like I like Hachi better because I feel like that's me. Not in terms of like emotional irresponsibility.
I was gonna say I could never be friends with you if you were Hachi.
No, but it more so in that like that like mildly dumb kind of characteristics. I feel like relates to me a lot because I'm mildly dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like she's just so bright and she just like lights up a room that like is very like attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't pick. Like, actually.
I think I'd do Nana over Hachi just because I feel like I could deal with Nana more often than I could deal with Hachi.
I don't know. I feel like the second it's like a ice wall that would go up, you would be like, what the fuck?
I just...
Because that would happen.
It is. But I just feel like I could deal with that more often than I could deal with
like
Hachi's
being bombarded.
Insanity. Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
All right, well, that was my...
Obviously, I recommend it.
Oh,
Please, everybody watch it. Please, everybody comment and say things. Obviously, like we said at the beginning, there's no fucking videos. Nobody talks about Nana.
Yeah.
So...
Tell us your best boy
and
why
I can talk about
Yasu.
Nana for fucking hours, so I never comment back to anybody, but I'll specifically comment back just to talk about Nana. And maybe even after this, I'll convince them to do another episode where we just talk more about Nana.
Maybe.
We'll see. Because we only have our hour and we're already actually like way over there.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, hey, here's group rating.
Yay.
And that brings us to our next anime. which is my pick, which I'm picking a newer show, 12 episodes to come off the 47.
Yep.
Bocchi
to make it a little later load.
Bocchi the Rock. It's new.
I've been wanting to watch that.
And it's super fun. And it's about the most relatable girl ever to most of us around our age that just has crippling anxiety about anything. So, you know, that's great. Also, very very full of like genuinely great gags. So, and the music's good. It's about a girl that like kind of gets like forced into a band.
Yeah, me too.
In a way, like because she just can't say no. A girl that was in a band saw her with an instrument and went,
"Hey, join our band."
Yoink. Like it's like you know the TikTok where it's like how an extrovert gets an introvert friend, and it's just like you're my friend now, and picks them up and walks away with them. It's like that basically. Like you're ours now, band. And so that, and then you know, hilarity of anxiety ensues. So yeah, I don't know. It's a very fun 12 episodes. And I just think it's very fun. And yeah, so that's what we got. So you got 5 weeks to watch that. Thanks for watching this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, like, follow. Check out Kat the Moonstar on Twitch, who is streaming more frequently now.
Yep.
Supposedly.
No, I have been.
You have been. Will
like,
that be true in 5 weeks when this comes out?
I guess that's true. It's like 3 or 4 times this week.
Yeah, well, proud of you.
Thanks.
And we'll see you guys next week for whatever it is we talk about.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.